Hey, you moved. Look at this camera. Why'd you move so far?
Told me to go through the mic. The mic don't come to me.
Yes, you can move the mic to you.
Let me work this thing.
There you go. Just make sure the foot is pointed toward the microphone, otherwise it'll tip. And that's a $400 microphone you're touching, so be careful.
At least it's not mine.
It's just a rental.
Really?
No, it's not. You bought it.
He's got like 4 spares.
Yeah, they're for everybody.
Some bass.
All right.
Where's mine?
There you go.
Bass.
Perfect. Welcome back. Actually, this is a new show, so not welcome back. I've messed that up so bad. Welcome
You're fired.
Welcome to the new show. I'm your host, Shawn Wayne, obviously, and my co-host, old Dylan. You haven't seen Dylan in a pretty good while, and that is because we've been both pretty absent to the YouTube channel. Isn't that right?
Been working.
Speak a little louder.
Been working.
There he is. There he is. Well, that is right. We have both been working. We've both found a pretty badass jobs, I would say. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. And, yeah, we have been working our butts off to make a living for the most part.
This is true.
This is true. I currently work at Yoder's. Dylan's got his greening T-shirt on. That's where he works. Greening Auto Company. Thanks for sponsoring our video today. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, I currently work at the Yoder organization. I'm their social media manager, and social media manager, social media marketer manager. I don't know what my actual official job title is because it's changed over the last year. We've done a lot of cool stuff. It's going great. It's going great. What about you, Dylan? What are your titles at your new job?
I make cars go vroom.
He's doing great. He's doing fantastic.
No, I'm a mechanic. Do all the mechanical stuff. We build hot rods. I do all the engine, wiring, brakes, a little bit of fabrication work, but most everything's resto mods. It's newer, modern stuff. So I take care of all the mechanic side of stuff.
That's good. That's good. You kind of stayed in that, I guess that field. It's me and you went to school together, and we was in auto technology together. We grew up together. We were working on cars. I still work on cars. I haven't just like quit working on cars, but you know what I mean. Yeah. You was. Oh no!
No, going dark. Wrong camera.
He stayed in the car related field. Per se, that's what he wanted to do, so he stayed there. I wanted to do it too, but I wasn't as passionate as he is. I wanted to work on my own shit, more or less. So, yeah, I took a different path. I did all kinds of stuff. I went from auto mechanic. Well, actually, it was a boat mechanic before, wasn't it?
Yeah, we both did boat mechanics that summer.
Yeah,
of my senior year, at least. You did a little more than I did.
Yeah, I started at shout out Leon's Marine down in Smith Lake. Me and Dylan actually had a really good time. Me and Dylan, Kurt, like all my friends that work there.
Was the summer of 2010?
It was actually 2008, right? 2007, 2008.
That's for you. I was there 10, summer of 2010.
Really?
Because I graduated 2010, and then I worked there the whole summer until I started college. And you was there. You was there for a while, though.
Yeah, I was there for on and off. I was there. I quit school when I was 16. I quit school. Mom said I had to have a job. So I was working at quit school at 16. Mom said I needed a job. So I quit my job. Or not quit my job. Mom said I needed a job. So I quit school. There was obviously a long conversation there where, you know, there was a long conversation there that took place because mom didn't want me to quit school. Obviously, no mom wants their child to quit school, but I was not doing it. I was not working there. Not working there. I wasn't going to school there. It was absolutely dreadful. The school I went to, it was so bad. So I quit. Started work for Leon. I worked there for 3 years, just on. I guess it was like 3 years. 2 or 3 years I worked there, and then you guys come in and out. Me and you would take lunch and we would go swim at Big Bridge. I thought that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool times.
It was. I enjoyed swimming.
And you got me to jump off Big Bridge.
That was a thrill.
That was not
now
a thrill.
you get to send to suicide school if you jump off of it now.
Actually.
Ruining all the fun.
Yeah, actually, right?
Yeah.
That's insane.
You can't even swim underneath it anymore.
Really?
Mm-mm.
No way.
All shut down.
That's crazy.
Used to be a popular spot.
I keep swapping back and forth. I need
back to you, Shawn.
Yeah, I need P2P. Anyway, I cannot believe you can't swim on Big Bridge anymore. That's actually pretty wild.
New owners.
There's people that own bridges.
Well, they own the marina underneath it, the water, the boat ramp, all that stuff.
Oh.
There is too much liability to have people down there swimming.
I can see that.
I don't think they use the boat ramp anymore. I think it's like
Closed
for
down.
people that rent the storage can use it. That's it.
That's interesting. Well, anyway, I quit school. I was working at Leon's for a while. You come in, you worked there for a while. We both got into mechanics. We did our journey. You actually did your journey and pursued mechanics as you were supposed to. And then I jumped all over the place. I worked at Keystone for 6 years. Did you know that?
Yeah, you was there for a while.
Long time. It was a form of automotive, but I was delivering parts for the most part. The job was a great job. Sit on your ass all day, driving a truck, get out every now and then and give you car parts. What made it really bad is when I got friends to work there with me. I had a couple friends that come and worked there that I put in a good word for. They came in and they sucked. They absolutely sucked. And so don't get friends that are not good friends to come and work with you because your job will blame you for it. They won't blame the bad worker and just fire them. They'll blame you for it. And I had 2 friends that come in and it was absolutely terrible. And I got into a fight with both of them at Keystone. It was not Dylan.
Can all of them be like me?
Exactly. I should have got Dylan on there because it was a good job. But Dylan was making way more money than I ever thought I was making when I was working at Keystone. Keystone doesn't pay worth a crap. I made $11, $12 or something like that for I think it was 4 years. It was actually ridiculous.
Big time.
But I didn't have any bills. Everything I had was paid off, so it was not a big deal. It was not a big deal at all.
Yeah, I liked school. I was teachers' pets.
Really?
Straight. I had A's and B's all the way through school to my senior year. I made straight A's because my scholarship depended on it. So.
Yeah, I didn't have a scholarship to worry about, so I never seen an A or a B except in second grade. I had straight A's. I have a piece of paper. You know what I'm talking about, the A honor row or whatever?
Yeah.
That's because I failed second grade, so I already knew everything that was going on, so I got straight A's the second time around.
Kindergarten was the best 3 years of my life.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I hated school. As soon as I got out. I was not having it. I was not going to be in school. School sucks. If I had to go back and do it all over again, and I had to be, a kid again and be in school, I would have quit sooner.
Would have been a YouTube prodigy at a younger age.
I still wouldn't have. You remember when we were filming everything, and I never uploaded any of it? I'd upload a little bit.
Some of it on your older channel or my older channel. Some of our trick shots and skateboard tricks that were just like something a 5-year-old would do and think was cool.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them, but they were so potato phone pixelated. It wasn't funny. You couldn't even make out what he was doing hardly.
Yeah, I had what they call they call it a flip, and it was a camera. I don't know. It was I think it was the first 720 like camera. I don't know. It was weird. If I could ever find it, there's a lot of videos on there, a lot of skate videos because we filmed everything with it. But it was like the USB flipped out and you plugged it in to your laptop, and then that's how you got your videos off of it. But
had our GoPros too.
Yeah, we had it
early on, the first OG where you put the batteries in it. GoPros.
Yeah, I had a ton of GoPros. You did too.
Yeah, we were throwing them in the pool and doing weird stuff with them, driving, going to Import Alliance. I remember those pictures with it.
Oh yeah, and yeah. So we either never uploaded. We uploaded some of the footage. Some of the footage it didn't really matter, but yeah, we could have been like 100% YouTube stars back when. But I think that's the deal with everybody though. Like everybody could have been YouTube stars back then because like nobody knew to like upload videos onto YouTube like we didn't. We uploaded a few, but it wasn't like we knew, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was hindsight kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, we had a good childhood. We had a good childhood. We grew up. We started working, like I said, was in mechanics and working on cars and stuff. Again, I only wanted to work on my cars. I hated working for customer cars, or hated working on customer cars. Was not very good at it. Was not very fast. I mean, I was good at it, but I wasn't very fast at it. So, like my first experience on what do you call it? What do you call it, Dylan?
Flat rate?
Yes. My first experience on
hurts.
flat rate. Yeah, it hurts.
With us?
I like went home with no paycheck.
Yeah, I can make or break you.
Yeah, it broke me. 100% broke me. And legitly, because I wasn't making a lot of money at all. Actually, he was paying us like, I think he was paying me $25 an hour, but that was flat rate. Yeah. And then you were making like 40 or something like that. I can't remember.
Like 30, and then I got like to 32 an hour, I think, flat rate.
Yeah.
Usually half, a rule of thumb, if you're really, really good, half of your labor rate is what you can pay on flat rate and still be okay.
Yeah, yeah. See, and I wasn't very good. I went home without a paycheck. That's just, but I wasn't getting like break jobs. It was you know, I think I swapped a Cummins motor. It took me like 2 weeks or a week or something like that. I can't remember. Remember that big red Cummins that came in? I had to swap the motor on it.
Yeah,
it was awful.
Diesel jobs are rough, especially if you're new to it.
Yeah, I was very new to it. But yeah, when I learned that I couldn't do that, I got a new job. I started working these plant jobs, and that sucked. Never did that again. And then ran through the plant jobs, started getting automotive advisor jobs. That was pretty cool. I felt my niche there. I like that. But I'm a people person, so like talking to people and building quotes and stuff is just like a cool thing to do, really. Have you ever...
Need some breaks, meemaw.
You ever thought about being an automotive advisor?
I think I'd like being shop foreman kind of thing better. Just look over everybody in the shop and make sure it's done right and figure stuff out, help people figure out, do the more harder diagnostic stuff. I've thought about that.
Really?
That or being a teacher, like probably when kids are out of school and all that stuff, go back to school, be a teacher.
You've told me that for years.
Yeah, I've always liked the teaching kind of role.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he would make a good teacher. Like, remember Thrasher was a good teacher. He was just kind of inappropriate at times.
Yeah, he was old school. He told some interesting jokes.
Yeah. We're sorry we're tattling on you, but it was a pretty rough one.
Yeah. Do always remember the one, he kept it underneath his desk mat thing, and he's like, man, if you're at work, think you're having a bad day at work, you can always go to Walmart. Get one of them rectal thermometers from the back. You can look on the back of it. It says this product has been tested. You know you're not having a bad day at work.
Imagine. I want that job.
That'd be a rough one.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I found my niche now where I'm at. I think you have too as well. You're working on like clean show car, SEMA cars. SEMA car, hot rods, you know, how do you explain it?
Just hot rods, basically. I mean, there's some exotics and stuff we've been getting into too, but basically full restorations.
So there's no more like necessarily getting dirty.
Sometimes in the teardown, I guess, old stuff, taking it off, taking it apart, I'll get kind of dirty. And then some of them are good regular customers will do some like refreshes and some odd and end maintenance stuff for them. But other than that, I stay pretty clean.
Yeah. So, but now I jumped into the production world. That's where all this comes from, really. This was a few years back. I've always been into production, obviously, with my YouTube channel and stuff like that. Just learning how microphones work. You know how it is. Microphones work. We've created a couple shows down the road, down the line. YouTube channels blowed up. We did a bunch of stuff, and working cameras and getting shots and just like going on YouTube. Like, how do I film this and this and that? And it really started when the YouTube took off, and that's where. And we were making good money too, especially around COVID. When COVID come out, YouTube was doing really well, and then like right after everybody kind of went back to work, but everybody was at home, watching YouTube. Like they didn't know what to do. They were just at home watching YouTube and stuff like that. So, but after that, I got into the production side of it. Started at Baker's. I went there for a little bit. I met Seth Trimble. You remember Seth Trimble?
Yeah, that's cool, Seth.
Yeah, he was in the Shallow Side, the guitarist in Shallow Side. He's not no more. He actually
making his own clothing brand.
Yeah,
I don't remember the name of it. Or I'd shout it out.
I actually don't remember the name of it either, but
Sounds so cool.
It is. He's like doing some really cool DTS. Like, as far as I know, it's DTS. He's like designing DTS and getting them and putting them on. They look really good. If I could, I would, wear one. Here on the show or whatever. But yeah, he did really well. Me and him worked at Baker's, and me and him we were traveling and just having fun. It was super fun, super good dude, super cool dude.
Except for crawling in the crawl spaces and stuff.
Yeah, that was unfortunately. I'm fat now. Don't get it wrong. I'm fat now, but there's a reason I'm fat now. I was very skinny when I was working at Baker's, and I was the shortest and skinniest one there, so they made me crawl through crawl spaces and attic spaces because Michael was too fat to get up there. He'd fall through the rafters, which I unfortunately did, by the way. Did you remember that?
Yeah.
I'll
show them.
Yeah, I fell through the rafters, smacked the ground, had to sit out for the rest of the day. It was pretty bad. It was awful. But anyway, got into that. It's supposed to be like a really video-based production company that I was supposed to be like head video guy there. He made it sound like I was the most important dude there, but I was not. I was installing speakers in churches around the United States of America. Wherever church he could install a speaker, we were going. And it was not the greatest job in the world, but it was fun. The people made it fun. That's most jobs, though. People make it fun. But I did that and then got another job at Rustcore. That's where my YouTube channel kind of dipped because I was working the second shift. And when I got to that job, I felt like I couldn't leave. I don't know. It was a weird feeling. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, Dylan, but when you get like in a corporated job like them, you get like a weird feeling whenever you like, you're working or whatever. You got people looking over your shoulder. These like important people, and they'll fire you on the spot. Like they don't care because they'll go to a temp service and hire somebody else. So, you ever felt that way? I don't think you ever have.
It's an eerie feeling. Are you watching me right now?
No, this ain't a corporation.
Am I gonna get fired?
Maybe.
Gotta be good people.
We'll fire you from this show.
Dang it, first day.
Yeah. But there's an eerie feeling there, and I felt like I couldn't leave because they were paying good money, but the people sucked. I mean, there was a few people there that I was friends with. Like one of them was Travis. I met him out of this, but a lot of people there were awful, and they just treated you like shit. And yeah, I left after 7 months. I told them, actually, I put in my 2 weeks notice twice. Put in my 2 weeks notice and they gave me $1 raise. And I was like, sucker. And then I put my 2 weeks notice in again and left. I went to Backstage Productions. Shout out Backstage Productions. That's where my production work kind of really took off. So I went there and we were doing everything. And then I started doing LED walls, having fun, doing that kind of stuff. So the people, this was also a job that the people made it. They were a family-owned business going corporate. And that was they let corporate push them around. You know what I mean? It was pushed. Say something, Dylan.
I don't know. I don't know about that side of it.
Yeah.
I remember you working there, and it was being like, you were doing so good, and they loved you, and then they wanted to get to like logistics and hard factual numbers and put it on paper, and like they were wanting you to go backwards because on paper it didn't look as good, but like your knowledge level was like up here, but like, you know, the data sheet was like down here.
Yeah. So
I valued you up here, but then like their sheets were saying you were down here, and it was a conflict.
Yeah. So my work ethic, I don't know how to say it. Work. Yeah. I've always had a good work ethic, or whatever you call it. This goes back to me like quitting school and stuff because I was never good at tests or anything like that. Like when you put paper in front of me, and not obviously like instructions and stuff like that, but like you put a test in front of me, it's really hard for me to like comprehend that stuff and do it, like, and ace that test. So that's what they did. They put a test in front of me and they were like, damn, this dude sucks. but
So like you dropped out of school.
Yeah. I told them that too. I was like, I quit school. Like,
I got my good enough diploma. What are you talking about?
I do not.
I know you did, but you said it did.
That was actually one of the reasons I left Rust Corps, because Rust Corps, they required a diploma, and I told them, I said, it's in my attic. I have no idea. I have to go get it.
The dog ate it.
Yeah. So I said, I had to find it, bro. I don't know. He was like, well, we can call the school. So he did. He called the school.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't have any record of Shawn graduating here in Fine Mott. I was like, because I didn't graduate. So I walked in his office. He's like, what's the deal, man? Just tell me. And I was like, I quit school, and I never got my diploma. I never needed it. And like, you got me unrolling cardboard here. Why do I need a
Quitter.
diploma? Yeah, that's what I felt like. I was sitting in the office. He was like looking down on me. I was like, bro. So I ended up putting my 2 weeks in because they promised me a raise if I went and got my diploma. They would give me a raise before I went and got it. And not my diploma, my GED. So I was taking tests, and I was trying to get my GED or whatever. And I was like a week out before I went to go take it or whatever. And I was feeling really confident. I was really wanting it. I was really confident in it. And yeah, long story short, to put my 2 weeks in and left because they had promised me a raise and didn't give me the raise because they didn't think I was actually working on the GED. And then when I told them I was actually working and showed them proof that I was working on getting my GED, they were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll give you the raise." And I was like, "I'm starting work tomorrow with the new job." So,
bye.
So yeah, I left.
Too late.
Yeah. So I left and went to Backstage, and again, Backstage was a family-owned business going corporate, and the people made the job, and the crew that I came in with was an awesome crew. They were super sick, every one of them. But I have a really strong work ethic. Like, I'll work my ass off. I'll work, and that's like every job I've worked. But I was working really good, doing everything I was supposed to do. He like pulled us to the side one time, like the boss. He pulled us to the side on the sidewalk in the middle of Birmingham. He was like, "This is the future of this company. You guys are it." And I was making good money. I was making really good money, actually. And then they had a meeting one day, and they were like, "All right, we're going off your test scores." And like, my test scores were bad, but my job, I was doing the same stuff over. Like, they were having me do everything still, but on paper, I wasn't supposed to be.
Hands-on was better than your score sheets.
Yes,
But there's a lot of people that could score really high, come out of college and score really high, and they get out real world. They don't know how to do nothing. They can tell you the technical number. Oh, this goes there, but like when you tell them to do it, they don't know how to do it. They don't have real world experience.
The crazy thing is there was people there like that. They were really good on paper, but when they got out in the real world, and they made more money than me after that. And when they got out in the real world, they sucked. They would just sit Indian style and like put together something, like sit on the ground and then like ask me for help and ask for directions, and you were like, just let me do it. And then like I would do it, but I was getting paid less than that guy.
Yeah,
like it was so stupid. So,
work experience is good. That's like when I was in college. You know, I went through and how I did college was like 6 weeks in the classroom, 6 weeks working the job, and I did it for like a year and a half. But then when you graduated, they would give you 2 years worth of work experience. So you were learning while you were working. So it was like kind of a, you know, double-edged sword. You had the book knowledge and the work experience all wrapped into one.
Yeah, see, and I thought I'd done really well for, you know, for me. I thought that's what they wanted from me was work. So I was just doing my job, and then they downgraded my pay, and then I had gotten before they downgraded my pay, I was still getting paid my normal wage before, like the contract that I had signed before when I come on, I was still on that contract. And then when the new contract comes in, I hadn't got there just yet, right? So I'm still making what I made on my normal contract, and a TV fell on top of me and snapped my ACL, which is that was very devastating. I didn't know it snapped my ACL. I just know it hurt my leg really bad. I couldn't walk. So I went to the doctor, got a CAT scan. After a few weeks on the crutches, I could walk again, and I was just in a brace or whatever. Got a CAT scan, found out my ACL was ruptured, which means like it's supposed to look like this, but it looked like this. So there was only like one there holding my knee together. So I had to have surgery or whatever. So that was really devastating. But I worked for like 3 weeks after. Like I was still working. Isn't that crazy? I was still working with a torn ACL, doing everything that I was supposed to do for less money than the guy that didn't know how to do it.
They kept you there while you still hurt because the guy that knew more didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, on paper he knew more, but like it just, you know, in the studio he didn't know. So, but yeah, so still doing all this, and I was driving a truck. That dude wasn't old enough to drive a truck, and I was like driving trucks, like the cab overs that you have to have like license to drive or whatever. I was driving those, working my ass off with the torn ACL. And they were like, man, you still suck, bro. I mean, look at this paper. So it made no freaking sense to me.
Test scores need to come up, buddy.
Yeah, you're about to bump them numbers up. You want paid, you're going to have to get this up. But still, do the same thing you were doing, by the way.
Should have started doing a crappy job. I don't know, man. My test scores start coming up. I might do a better job.
I thought about it. I really did. Thought it.
Pay me less. I'm going to work for less.
Yeah. So, tore my ACL. I got put on disability, short-term disability, and it was like $500 like a week. That was it. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go broke. But luckily it's only 6 weeks. That's what I heard. It ended up being 6 months of therapy. For 2 months, 2 or 3 months, I was like, you know, not bedbound, but like for a week I was bedbound, and then like for the next 2 months I was just like hobbling around on one leg. I would not recommend ACL surgery on my worst enemy. It was awful. It was straight awful. But yeah, hobbled around for about 6 months, and I said I couldn't take it no more. I have to go to work. I'm going to go broke. I was in my savings left and right, and it was awful. So what I did was I wrote the company, and I said, I'm sorry, but I can't do the disability anymore. I won't. And it was like a Friday. Got my last disability check, and I was like, today I, Shawn Glenn, declare my disability to stop. And by law, they have to pay for everything. So like my lawyer told me, because I had to talk to a lawyer before all this because I was afraid they would sue me because I quit before, because I was on contract and all this. So I had to talk to a lawyer before all this. So the lawyer said I can quit and find another job if I want to, but they still are obliged to pay forever. They have to pay for anything that has to do with that surgery. So luckily, from here on out, they have to pay for everything that has to deal with mine. Which it's fine now. Everything's good to go. Surgery went well. I'm healed up. I can run, jump, walk, skateboard, kind of skateboard. I do have a brand new skateboard I haven't been able to use.
I haven't used mine in ages. I quit because you quit because you got hurt. And you're like, I can't skate no more. So I was like, well, I don't really want to skate anymore. I'm not getting hurt, and I won't be able to work. I'll be in the same boat you're in.
Yeah. So,
but then I wouldn't have anybody paying for my disability besides myself.
It sucked ass. Let me tell you. So, don't do it. Don't break your knee. It's an awful time. It was rough. It was awful. But yeah, while my knee was hurt, I was looking for another job. And my buddy Cody, shout out Cody. We play airsoft together. He's
boy Cody.
He's a good friend. He works here at Yoder's organization. He said, hey, they're trying to jump into the social media realm. And you're the only one I know that posts videos on Facebook all the time or YouTube all the time. Or you're the only one dumb enough I know that posts videos on YouTube and Facebook all the time. So you want to meet up? And I was like, yeah. So I met up, talked to him. And he was like, let's do a formal interview. I was like, okay. So we did a formal interview. Then we did a second interview where they took me out to eat and they offered me. They asked me what they were going to offer me pay. They're going to offer me, so much money, right? It was, I'll just say, they were going to offer me $26 an hour. And so I asked them, they asked me what I wanted, and I just kind of shot in the dark. And I was like, I'd love to make $28 an hour. And they don't know what's going to happen. They thought, they honestly thought this was going to be just a month. So, like a month-long thing, right?
One like it's you. I'd think that too.
Who's
this gender guy?
Oh, he's been posting weird videos
YouTube.
on YouTube.
Crashing cars and jumping them and tearing
What does he
stuff
know
up.
about marketing?
Playing video games.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, I shot in the dark at the table. I said, hey, can I have $28 an hour? He said, you know what? We're going to give you what you want, because if we don't give you what you want, we're afraid you won't deliver. So if we give you what you want, we feel like you will deliver beyond what we think you will. Or, however you say that. So started my job October 1st. Actually just hit over a month ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So started, and they had their biggest month ever in October, and it was really cool. I don't know if it was just coincidence that I just come in and started marketing for them.
Probably.
And it was just coincidence. They had their record-breaking month when I came in, and I was like,
I did that. That's me. This guy.
I was, and initially I was like, see, and
I just hit a bunch of buttons. Look what happened.
So we were talking about videos, and they were like, let's, I want, like, he's always like, I've always wanted a podcast. I was like, dude, we could do that. We could do a podcast. And he was like, you think so? I'm like, yeah, we can 100% do a podcast. I said, it's not my money. I mean, you just buy everything. You have a podcast. He's like, you know what?
Let's do it.
So you know what? Let's do it. So I made up a list of cameras, tripods, TVs, desk, really couches, because it started off at couches, microphones. And he was like, go big. Don't, sit around, hesitate. Don't, you know what I mean? You don't cheap out. Don't get us webcams and stuff. Like, get us some stuff that's going to work. So we did. I got
what you mean.
Yeah.
Some nice stuff.
Yeah, it's everybody that comes in says this is the most elaborate thing they've ever seen, because it's like a full legit studio.
It's in a shed.
Yeah, so
a Yoder shed.
A Yoder shed, yeah, exactly. So started the podcast. The podcast took off. There over 62,000. Quick shout out Yoder's Talk. they are over 62,000 subscribers now. So, which is absolutely. I've been doing YouTube for 6 years, 7 years. Just take that in, Dylan. Remember when we started this?
I don't think I could think that far back. I
It's,
can't remember last week.
it's so long. We've been doing this 6 to 7 years, and we have 8,000 subscribers.
Balling.
Yeah.
About to make it big.
Yeah, we're trying.
With this.
We grinding over here,
We're
baby.
starting.
We grinding over here, baby. This is our new show, Thoughts. Subscribe if you subscribe for our thoughts. But yeah, they took off, and their social, they're all across their every platform they have, all across. They're moving, son. And it's, the YouTube, their TikTok. We're posting TikToks every day. They're jumping into the social media realm faster than I can think. And they do this 3, 6, 90 day. We had meetings and stuff, and on 90 days, he was like, actually, I wrote down like everything I did and, put it all in a thing.
A
spreadsheet, yeah. And, I was trying to read it to him, and I couldn't because I've never asked for a raise, right? I mean, I've never gotten to a point in a job where I've asked for a raise. I did ask for a raise from Keystone, and they were like, no, we can't afford it. And then they hired these, and Chris and Seth and everybody that worked at Keystone with me can vouch for this. Joseph, he was one of the guys too. We worked at Keystone. They hired guys in at more money than us off the street that didn't know even how to drive a cab over. After we asked for a raise, and they hired them in at more money than we were making, like $3 more money, $3 more than what we were making. And everybody boycotted Keystone, like took the keys, like went outside in the parking lot. Everybody's getting in the cars to leave, and they're like freaking out, like corporate's like freaking out because it was like 15 to 20 grand worth of car parts on each truck, and we had 10 trucks, or 20 trucks, something like that. So 15 of those trucks were going home. We were leaving, you know what I mean? So it was gonna hurt them like in a real bad way that day. They were like, we'll have you a raise as soon as you get back, please. Just get out there on the road. We'll do anything. And we're like, we want a raise. Like, we're going to get a raise or we're not driving the trucks. You can pay these guys that don't know how to do it.
I want a raise and I want it now.
For real. So, but that day, sorry. I'm sick, bro. So that day we got back, we had a raise. We was all making like 14. Some of us making 15. I think Joseph making something like $16 an hour at that point in time. And that was big money for us because we went from 12 or 11. Some of us are still at 10. And we went to that. That was a big jump. And then they would always remind us too. They would be like, well, we just give you like a $5 raise. Like they would just tell people that all the time. We just give you for $4 or $5 raise. I don't know why you're complaining. Bro, we made you give us that raise. What are you talking about? But yeah. I wrote out a whole spreadsheet. And again, I was scared to ask for a raise because I've never asked for a raise. And so when I handed it to him and I started asking for a raise, I couldn't talk. I was like freezing up. And he was like, let me see, what do you got there? It's like paper. I was like, oh yeah, so like a little spreadsheet of like, it's like everything I do, like what I'm saving you money on. Cause I like broke it down, dude. It was like
it's the most prettiest thing you ever made on paint.
It was a spreadsheet from my phone. Thank you very much. Yeah. But yeah, I broke it down, like everything I did, how much money I was saving him, like because I was doing this and doing that, and he was like, "This is like legit." I was like, "Yeah," but yeah, like it's the most legit thing I've ever put together. So,
didn't even graduate school.
Yeah,
impressed.
So I handed it to him. He read over it. And he was like, "We can do this." I was like, "All right, cool." So right now. I asked for $12 more, and I know that sounds like a lot, but in his defense, he was about to hire somebody at $30 an hour, or 20. It was like $28 an hour. He's going to give me a raise and then hire somebody else. So I just asked for $12 more an hour, and then he gave it to me, and so that's where I'm at now, is 40, and it's been good ever since. I've been trucking along. It's very valuable too because we monetized all the platforms here. So they're bringing in money everywhere, and everything I do and every day's new ideas. We're going out, we're filming videos. Like, it's insane.
Chicken suits and
Legit.
electric cars that get run off the road and you get demonetized for.
Not necessarily.
But remember that one ad? He jumped out of the car and then went in the shed, and then they like demonetized it because he jumped out of a moving vehicle.
Yeah,
so he had to cut that part out.
That video got I appealed it, and it's still moving to this day. But it got 100-something thousand views on my TikTok. Crazy. That was, and we made like 2 sales off that video. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, you're that dude that jumped out of that car. I want to buy a shed.
I want to buy a shed from you. But yeah, everything's moving pretty crazy here, and we're going to Africa in March and all kinds of stuff. So yeah,
I want to go to Africa.
Yep, I'm going to. I gotta get my passport in the next few weeks.
Put me in your luggage.
Put you in my luggage. Wow.
Go pet the tigers.
If you got a reason that you need to go to, over to Africa, I don't know. You just have to talk to him. I really don't know. I'm just along for the ride.
Emotional support friend.
Emotional support friend. This is my emotional support friend. He has to go with me.
Yeah, guardian.
There you go. But yeah, we're going in March and we're going in September, and I'm going to film the trip. So that's why I'm going, as I'm the video guy. And in layman's terms, I'm the video guy. So going in March to film, and then
they're going hunting gorillas.
No, I don't think gorillas are over there, right?
Rest in peace, Henry.
Oh my God. He wasn't even in Africa, Dylan.
What was the thing they killed in Africa? The lion or something that was having a fit over?
There is lions over there. I'm not sure what you're talking
You
about.
always see it. There's Hanbury, and then there's that other thing in Africa that those people killed.
I just only know about the squirrel that recently got killed.
That's terrible.
Peanut?
Dang it, Peanut. And the raccoon. He don't get as much recognition.
Well, it's a
The
raccoon. I want a baby raccoon. Do you want? Would you have a baby raccoon if you could?
Yes, we tried. We wanted one for a while, but you can't find them.
Because it's illegal in Alabama to own them.
Because we had ferrets. Because we couldn't get raccoons.
I want a ferret too. I think those are badass.
They stink.
I've always heard that too. I want a raccoon.
Got rid of them.
You did?
Mm-hmm. We had to for almost a year.
I want a raccoon. You think? I wouldn't post it on social media. I would just keep it as a pet. You think I would get in trouble?
I don't know. We're not New York, so.
It is true.
I don't think so. Especially as a pet. You have it from as little and stuff. But a bunch of them's about like a cat. I mean, they've got some hands. They can pick stuff up.
That's why I think it would just be cool to have a raccoon, like a little pet raccoon following me around all the time. In the shop and stuff like that. You ever seen the video? There's like a TikToker that his dad or her dad has a like a pet raccoon that goes on job sites with him and stuff. Like he works construction and he just follows him everywhere.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, I think that's what made me want a pet raccoon. Those things are so sick. I'd want one. But yeah, work's been doing really good here. It's been a roller coaster, that's for sure. But we got these guys moving because they went from like barely even doing Facebook to like just a massive boom in social media. I mean, they're literally on every platform and they're moving on every platform. It's
and they were
crazy.
Intimidated by your drone.
No, it wasn't. But I did take photos of their aerial footage of their place, and I got a lot of backlash from it too.
Yeah, I can imagine.
On Facebook.
You have to fly license for that.
I was like, any interested parties, I have my license.
Yeah, not. It's like your GED.
Hey, shut up, brother. But yeah, we that's kind of what we've been doing for. You haven't really seen us on YouTube too much. You haven't seen Dylan in a very long time, a very, very long time, right?
Yeah, because he started working at, was it Rustcore?
Yeah,
he started working at Rustcore, and then he's working second shift, so our times would never line up, and then you started working here, then you're wide open here, and then just moved around, and then my work and both our personal lives, I guess, just working stuff out.
Yeah.
Getting stuff to a better place for our kids and spending time with them, doing stuff with them.
Yeah, it's been a wild last couple years for real. Mike, 100%.
I miss you.
I miss you. You need to start coming around more. You are making a choice to come around more, like me and you. This is why we started the show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, just so everybody knows, that is the reason in starting this show is so me and Dylan could spend more time together because we are ex-boyfriends. I love you. But and we do also. This is the Yoder's Talk studio. We do have permission to, like, behind him is a sign, but you can't see it because we covered it up. We also covered up our headphones with tape, so so that we don't plug Yoder's Talk and say anything crazy, even though we just talked about how grateful I am for my job. And
You guys rock.
yeah, so oh man, I went black again. So yeah, we're trying to get used to this. We are trying to spend more time on the internet as of like YouTube wise or whatever, and
Online presence.
yeah, having like an online presence and doing more stuff. So that's the reason behind this show. And we're also sticking with Mellow Mates. We want to say that too. Mellow Mates is still a thing. We are bringing Dylan on to Mellow Mates, and it will be filmed in a live perspective. We were going to do it online like we were before, but we want to have it as an in-person. But making everybody's schedules meet is a very difficult thing to do. So, I know, dude. Making everybody's schedules meet is a very difficult thing to do. So we are trying to get a good schedule for Rocky to be here, and
Love you, Rocky. You're my boy, Blue.
my boy Blue. We're trying to get Rocky here so he can film with us because he is the host of Mellow Mates, and I would want to reveal the new logo to you guys, but I can't until the first episode. So, but this is Thoughts with me and Dylan. So you we'll have like 2 episodes of podcasts come out a week. I don't know. I mean, that works.
1 or 2.
1 or 2, yeah. Something like that.
See how it works out.
Yeah. So, on other thoughts, Dylan come at me with an idea. When was this? Yeah.
Before we get too far. How did you end up at Vimont and your sister at Holly Pond?
What do you mean? Like schools?
Yeah. I always wondered that. I was like, you live right there by the school in Holly Pond nearly. Like, how did you end up at Vimont?
So
That was always, I guess, just sitting there thinking the other day, I'm like, how did he end up at Vimont? I never could figure it out in my head.
So mom and dad went to Holly Pond. They graduated from Holly Pond. Their pictures are up on the wall in the Holly Pond school. And then I went to Holly Pond. I actually went to kindergarten at Vimont, and then 1st and 2nd grade in Holly Pond, but I failed 2nd grade in Holly Pond, so they put me back in Vimont. So I was in 2nd grade in Vimont, and then Kayla started Vimont, and we went through. I went all the way through not all the way through high school, but I went all the way to high school in Vimont, and then, which was probably a bad idea. I should have went to Holly Pond. It probably would have been a better. It probably would have been a better situation for me because.
Yeah.
The teachers at Vimont, I understand, like, teachers change and times are probably better now, but my kids will never go to Vimont ever. I don't care.
Come on, man.
I don't care if it's the last school on earth. I will homeschool them. So
It was like 17 years ago. You could
I
let
don't
it go.
care. I don't care. Coach, how about said his name?
Oh.
Yeah.
Bleep that out.
Oh, the old Alabama player. You could probably figure it out. The old Alabama player / guidance counselor from Vimont.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. You know what I'm saying? He was awful to me, dude. He was a butthole.
Okay, we can move on now. That's all I was wondering. I was sitting there thinking about the other day. Just
Kayla ended up going to Holly Pond in middle and high school. She graduated from Holly Pond.
Yeah. So I knew she was there 'cause she was there with Emily, and then like you was at Vermont. I was just trying to process. I didn't know if you just like transferred or.
I had such a bad experience in Vermont, and I told my mom and my sister all these horror stories that they were like, nah, fam. we bringing you back to Holly Pond. So they brought her back to Holly Pond. Just left me on the dirt road.
You just tough it out.
I did. Now I'm here, so that's good. That's all that matters, you know.
But shout out life.
Yeah.
Got to win.
Anyway, yeah, got to win finally. Anyway, Dylan approached me with this idea the other day, and it was a really cool idea. You want to elaborate on that?
We're gonna get lawnmowers and race them.
This is a real idea. This is not a joke.
We're not gonna do it by the books, I guess, by the code. Just
we
for
never
fun.
do anything by the
just
code.
for fun, because you can find them cheap, reasonable. Which mine I got for free. So
Yeah, exactly. So Dylan's already got his lawnmower. He's got a Craftsman 6-speed 19.5 horsepower. Turbo cooled.
Out of the weeds.
There you go. So I'm going to find a lawnmower, and we're going to join him. Oh, my goodness, dude. I'm going to join him on...
Go blow your nose, man.
I can't. We're going to join him on his... what would you call it?
Build?
Your adventure builds. I don't know what you would call it.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna join him on this, and we're going to build racing lawnmowers. It's gonna be fantastic.
They're gonna be fast and furious. They just might not be fast.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
We'll see.
We'll
always try to figure out the formula, because right now it's kind of you kind of do the old Google and YouTube, and like different people have different amounts of money and parts invested, and so we'll have to figure it out, as we go, because there's not a lot of information out there for it, like go-karts and all other sense of motorsports. There's a pretty good bit of information, but like lawnmowers, it's like there's not too much out there. So
yeah,
it'll be a learning adventure.
We're gonna document everything, so everything that this is a serious thing, and if whatever we learn and put together, like if we have to build a front end and all this good stuff, we'll like put it, we're going to film every bit of it. I'm going to try some cinematography, some different styles of filming, all of this stuff that me and Dylan are going to be doing.
You're going to sing?
No. you idiot. But
call your name Cinnamon. It'll be Cinnamon Photography.
I do like cinnamon. But anyway, we're going to film all of that. We're going to put it on the internet so you guys can see it and join in on the crazy fun, because it's going to be really fun.
Hopefully we're going to have some competition. A couple of guys at work are thinking a month or so they like to get together and
do some racing.
Do some racing, or at least some runability testing. They're welder fabricators. They're going to be a little more ahead of me on it, considering my Harbor Freight $150 welder. I'm a mechanic. Might not be as elaborate as theirs, but I'll try to make it go fast at least.
It doesn't matter how it's put together. It's how fast it is.
And stays together.
I mean, yeah, it's going to stay together.
You don't want to crash, run into something.
It may not, be the prettiest thing put together, but it's going to stay together.
Maybe.
We've had some stuff put together that probably should have fell apart.
First go-kart was, I don't know what happened to that thing. That thing's just, I don't know how it lived as long as it did.
It was a miracle. A miracle.
Like none of the suspension was, every bushing on the whole front end was detached. But like the bolts were the only thing holding it together. And
you could literally take the front wheel.
It's still together.
And move it. Yeah, it's still together.
Like it's dead and ripped all the wires out. But it stayed together. It's seen some crazy stuff.
I've got the old Ford Focus at my house right now, and
get it running.
Yeah, it runs. I got it running, pulled it up on the old trailer. I drove it onto the trailer, and it definitely does need. I haven't drove it. You know what I mean? But like we have before. But yeah, we aired the tires up, and we got it to crank, and I pulled it up on the trailer. It took a while to get it started, and we had to spray some starter fluid in it. But got it up on the trailer, strapped her down, took her home, and drove it into the garage, and it's just sitting there now. Still running like it's always ran. So
Terribly.
yeah, it's very, very terrible.
It runs though. And it's a plus.
I don't know what the deal is with it because I put new spark plugs in it, new wires.
We put the cool on it because it's misfiring. It's only run on 3 cylinders when we first got it, so we put that Chinese $20 ignition cool on it, and it ran pretty good. Made it through several gamblers.
Yeah, and we pulled. We unpacked the catalytic converter.
Oh yeah, baby got hot.
Yeah, it was red. Do you remember that?
About caught the grass on fire.
That was ridiculous. So, took that. I can't believe we did all that. That's actually really funny. We've had that car for.
I mean, we took it out the first time. Remember, we went to Stony and we're like, we're gonna take it easy and we'll get a little bit of film in, and it lasted like 5 minutes. He's driving, all them people with the razors out there cheering you on, and you couldn't take it. You're like, I gotta go. We're gonna send this thing. Rip the radiator out, transcooler, condenser.
Did a nosedive. It was like boom.
It did a stoppie. Pretty much a scorpion of cars.
That was like when the bumper was on it, fenders, and everything.
It was still a full car, I think. I don't think we had anything on it.
Yeah, it was a full car still.
Had to fill water back up in it and drive it back to the house because we didn't have a trailer.
It's so fun. Oh,
and after that, I mean, after we raised the radiator, got it off the ground and a bunch of other stuff, it did good.
I would like to relocate the radiator into the trunk. I think that would be really nice.
Being a turd.
Yes.
Still got to get air. So kind of have to make a
put some fans
air
back
channel. Make it work.
Yeah, I think we could make it work. We had to run some long pipe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that 308 Ferrari built was. It's got like rubber hose, and then it's just got like steel tubes that run down to the channel all the way to the front.
I think that's something like. I think we could do something like that. Make it work. I think so.
Make anything work.
Yeah. I want to fix the. I want to put spacers on the front and rear. I want to fix the mangled metal that's in the back. I want to tune it up. I want to detail it because it is nasty on the inside. I mean, I'm nasty on the inside, son.
Not as bad as a town car.
No, not as bad as the town car. Well, nothing as bad as the town car was.
Or that Jeep you had.
Which one?
The one you burned all the interior out of.
Oh, yeah. That was rough, wasn't it? That was so gross.
That was a bad one.
It was so gross.
He always was a fan of burning the interior. This is so bad, I'm going to take it out and burn it.
I ain't going to need it. I hate
got no interior no more.
I ain't no need keeping it and giving it to somebody else. Just burn it.
We'll sit on a bucket. It was a nice bucket.
Yeah, I remember that. It was fun. But yeah, I do want to fix the wheels. I want to work on that suspension a little bit, and I would love to relocate the radiator somewhere where it would, be feasible, because it's not right now. We would have to put like a.
I mean, it's still not busted where it's at. We got it pretty high above the bumper support, so it wasn't that bad where it's at.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad. It's just like clogged up in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Too much dust, dirt, off-roading.
Yeah. I would like to build like a small cage in the back, put a wheel on. Like that would be really cool.
Carrier, little tire carrier.
Yeah. Put it on the back of the car. Take the trunk off because the trunk just flops.
Take the roll cage off your Miata cart and chop it up and make a tire carrier.
It's gone.
I thought there was some more bars laying across it.
There is bars in there, but not like a roll cage.
The roll cage thing. Oh yeah, we put that in your other Miata.
Yeah, and Wyatt has that Miata now. If you're wondering where Hood Rat went back to its original owner.
Is he still driving it?
Yeah, he drove it. He actually drove it the other day. It's on wideband now or something like that.
Got the old 2-step, the old power bang, snap.
Yeah, he put like the equivalent to Miata Squirt ECU in it, and he's like tuning it and doing all that. So he got to take out like all the stuff that was causing me issues when I was driving it. He got to take all that out, but Wyatt's like that. Wyatt doesn't deal with all that stuff, so he just takes it out and self-tunes it. But it's running good, and Wyatt's driving it right now. Hood Rat is in good hands. One day, maybe I'll be able to buy it back, from White if he ever decides he wants to sell it, because he did get mad enough the other day. He was like, "I'm fixing to sell this thing." I was like, "I'll buy it. I'll come over and buy it right now."
Got hood wrap Mustang now.
Yeah, I do have a hood wrap Mustang now.
And it's got that wrinkle in your fender.
Oh my God! Don't remind me. Yes,
I seen it when I pulled in.
It's so bad, ain't it?
Ooh, it's not terrible. It could be worse.
Could be worse. Yeah.
Could be like Jason's Camry.
Yeah. It's gonna cost me $2,000 to fix. Yeah. I took it to a body shop the other day. The cheapest body shop, not the cheapest body shop. The cheapest quote I got was $2,078. So
about the whole thing needs resprayed about now, doesn't it?
Huh?
Doesn't the whole thing about need a respray?
Some
of the front's a little chippy.
Yeah, some of the front's a little chippy on it, but it's because it's already been resprayed. Well, the front end's been resprayed because it's a GT 500 front end and GT 500 rear bumper, and they were red. The GT 500, the bumpers that come off, the bumper, and I think the hood. I don't know. I'm not totally sure. John said those parts come off a GT 500. The car was originally grabber blue, so they resprayed those bumpers grabber blue, but they didn't do a very good job, obviously. And it's like chipping on the front. It's not chipping on the front like terrible, but like a fender's got like a chip in it, and then like the bumper's got a few chips in it, like around the edges.
Better my Grand Marquis.
Grand Marquis
rust on the roof. Yeah. Paint's peeling.
That's character. That's what that is.
Clears coming off the front of the Tundra. Sequoia's getting a little bit beat up.
Yeah, but all your stuff's paid off, right?
Yeah.
See?
It's true.
My stuff is, mine's close to being paid off. As I've been going through this debt-free, what do you call it, snowballing effect or whatever. You snowball all your bills and become debt-free. I'm almost there. I will be debt-free by February of 2025. Is that right?
Been reading a book.
Huh?
You been reading a book?
Reading like the Dave Chappelle book? Not the Dave Chappelle book.
Chappelle.
No.
Yeah, that guy. He tells you about money.
Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
No,
I have one of his books. I ain't never read it.
Really? Mm-hmm. I haven't read his books. Everybody here are like they're big Dave Ramsey fans. They're big advocates for him, and they trust his judgment and stuff like that. So, and it's worked out for them. So I decided to try my luck at like some snowballing deal.
Snowballing.
And ever since then, I've been, for the past few months, I've been very, very close to becoming debt free until I bought a Jeep Wrangler for Taylor. So
dang it, Taylor.
Yeah,
almost there.
I was almost
there. You got the
there.
Scooter.
Yeah, I got the scooter too.
Gang.
I've got a scooter and
the Grom, Chinese Chinko.
Yeah, the Chinese Grom.
Timu Grom.
But yeah, those are paid for.
Almost there. I just bought 3 more things.
But yeah, I will be, by February, I will be debt free and halfway done with the Jeep. And we bought the Jeep for $20,000. So, or a little less than $20,000. So,
nice.
Yeah. So,
I'll be there one day.
You are there. What are you talking about?
Well, that was my house payment.
Well, I don't have a house. I have rent. Yeah. I'm out in the boonies now, like you, though.
Yeah, I'm ready to sell.
You are. You told me you was going to sell and move to Holly Pond.
We talked about it, so it's on the table still.
I hope you do.
That area, closer to town, less maintenance is really what I'm after.
Yeah, I hope you do. That would be actually really sick.
What? So we could do this more.
Yeah, we're gonna do this more anyway. So what are you talking about?
It's true.
Once a week.
Sure.
Let's go. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. We've been at it for quite a while. Did you just fart?
Nope.
Yeah, you did, dude. I seen you lean up. But anyway, we've been here for a minute. Oh my gosh. He's moving away from the camera. It's so bad.
Microphone stinks.
Yeah. But thank you guys for joining us on Thoughts. We'll have another one next week for you guys. Again, we're going to do this every week and try to get, try to just talk. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a more productive episode next week, right, Dylan?
Ain't making no promises.
It'll be a better production next week because this was our first episode and we're just kind of rambling, really. We had some talking points, but we never touched on any of them besides the racing lawnmowers.
For him.
That was your fault.
Sorry.
Join us next week on another episode of Thoughts. We will see you guys next time. Peace. Peace, Dylan.
A-Town down.
A-Town down. Or Walmart. Walmart. How you do that? Walmart.
That was terrible.
Bye, everyone.